Welcome back to the Uprising Network. What I want to do this time around with the rebrand of the network is create spaces where black men can have a platform to where they can just express themselves. I don't really see that very often. I know there has been attempts within our scene or quote-unquote circle of spaces to where men could just come and just talk about different things they're going through. And sometimes men don't want to talk about these things, but trust me, there's always men going through the same thing. We can relate in some different way. So for this episode, I want to talk about fatherhood. And maybe introduce different subtopics under that, but mainly we want to talk about fatherhood. If you guys want to introduce yourselves beforehand.
I'm JG of Audio Wave Network. I'm Steph LaFleur, Detroit, Michigan.
And I'm Marcus.
All right, so our panel today, like I say, we're all fathers here. We all have one?
I got one.
One. You got two. Oh, you got two. Okay.
I'm a vet.
He's a vet.
OG in the game.
11-year veteran.
All right, so how old are you? 11? The oldest is 11.
11 and 4 years old.
Okay. All right. That'll probably be my gap as well.
Don't do that gap.
Don't do that gap?
Yeah,
No.
I think I'm at my gap. My gap has to be like 5. My daughter's 4. She'll be 5, 2020. So it's like, this is the gap. Like, this can't be any farther than that.
My daughter 5, so I'm trying to
get another one real
gap
quick.
in here right now.
Yeah, don't go. I would say don't go back in there.
Oh, okay.
Don't go back in that game. No.
Okay.
My situation was different. I wanted kids, but not at 19.
Right. Makes sense.
When I started my family, of course, I
Yeah.
more kids.
Oh, I'm saying don't do that. I'm saying don't. It's not as bad. I mean, the thing is like the kids aren't the bad thing, but it's like you deal with certain things with that space. And so kids are growing at different times. So like my son is 11, which is like a preteen. He in the 6th grade, and then my youngest son is 4. And just like the stages that kids go through in those ages, it's always
two
like
totally
some
different type of kids.
Yeah, they two totally different kids, and then it's just gonna be natural friction from where it may be just an older brother, little brother thing, but like with more space in between. Like he going through puberty, and then he's trying to just figure out like I'm not little, even though he is little, but he think because his brother is 11, he think he 11 too.
Yeah.
And so he trying to do everything and just him concept under things. So you do a lot of refereeing and trying to separate it, and then just dealing with 2 different personalities along with another personality in the house. It's mentally like you don't know what you're doing. Like I always say, like my oldest son is teaching me how to be a parent. And then so like his brother will get the best version of parenthood because everything I messed up on happened with him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now I know what to do the second time. But with them going together, it's constant. Like, man, I don't know what it's not a book. Like I said, like nobody is born to be a parent. Like, you are born to be a parent technically if you want to take that role, but it's not like, I was born to do this. Like you wasn't.
One thing, looking back when I was a kid, with my parents, I felt like they knew everything. They knew everything. But as a parent now, in my early 30s, it's like, we still we were trying to figure it out, just like I'm figuring it out right now.
Were you the oldest?
I'm the oldest, yes.
Yeah, I think it appeared that they knew everything until. So my sister is like the problem child. I love her to death, but she's like the problem child.
She the middle child?
Yep, she went to Scare Straight and everything, like the program.
Oh yeah,
yeah. My sister's.
Was she on the show?
I don't think they had the TV show. It was she went to Wayne County and they like walked her around.
Okay.
It was like my sister's a shooter, so it's just like it's like one of those things where it's like I was easy. I was on a roll. I got into girls at like right at middle school. It was like right at the time you think your kids get into. It was like everything was like on track. My sister was a wild child, and I was like, yo, she giving them the flux. They did not know what to do, so it's just like. I think, like right now, when you have one, you like, all right, I'm cool, we cooling. But I think my second child is gonna be just like that. Like it's just gonna be like,
I feel the same way.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
My younger brother, it was 3 of us, so the middle one was definitely the same way. He got some. He's been to jail a few times. He got a couple felonies on his record. Me, I was like quiet. I don't even remember ever getting a whooping. Never got a whooping. Meanwhile, my middle brother. But it didn't work for him for some reason. The whippers didn't work for him. That's why I don't even hit my kid.
But you gotta know, like now it's more information. It's like more information than ever. Like with the second kid, it's not that they're gonna be off the hook. It's just that it's different, and you can't use the same thing because they're a totally different person. Whether like you can't, you know. So it's just like you just have to know that I'm raising these kids like in the same place, but totally different because one will need more of something than the other, and so you gotta just like figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? But it's a balancing act. Like you walking a tightrope every day just to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm one of 10, so just having to deal with all that different type of personalities, different type of outcomes.
Was y'all all in the same crib too?
Well, my dad got married, so we'll be at my dad's house some days. You know, my mom's house some days.
Where do you fall into that 10?
I'm my mom's oldest. I'm my dad's second oldest.
Okay.
So I'm right there. I got a brother that got 25 to life. I got one brother that got 2 years. I got one brother who's a scholar. I got another brother who, you know, it's really no, like you said, it's no playbook to do this. You know what I mean? So a lot of things my mom and my dad do, they calling me to apologize for some of the stuff they did when they was kids, and I ain't realized some of the stuff they was doing.
Your parents real,
that leads
bro.
to what I'm. Yeah, absolutely. What growing up? What was and you could be as transparent as you want to be. What was your? How did you look at your dad growing up? Like, how did he raise you versus how do you raise your child? Or children, for that matter.
The big difference for me is I'm raising a daughter, so I'm more emotional. My dad is not good with expressing his emotions. He never was the type to express if something was hurting him or he was going through something. He always figured it out. One thing I didn't understand was how much he went through. You know what I mean? Seeing how he was in the streets hustling and this type of sacrifices he made for me. I'm being a kid, being mad. You're not there for me, but I'm not understanding. You know, he can't be. But it's 50-50 pull and tug on both ends, like, because you're supposed to be there for your child for the big thing. So it makes me, all right, you got to show, all right, cool. If any other day get your kid, all right, you got to do this, that, and the third, or fix it in. Like, you got to figure it out, because my parents figured it out. But me and my dad didn't really start getting close till I was about 16, 17. And he ended up getting incarcerated when my daughter was 1, which is about 4 years ago. And when he got out, it was just a big difference, because he was taking stuff for granted. He missed on his grandkids. So it's, he for sure, our relationship is that's my dog. Like, but it ain't no, you wasn't there for me when I was a kid type of thing. It was like, I get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's, part of growing up.
I think for me, it's like kind of the total opposite. Like, growing up, my dad was like my guy. Like, that was like, I used to like really, my mom and dad separated early. Like, I don't even remember them being together ever. So it was like, he used to always come like scoop me on the weekends, and like summer breaks, I used to be there all week. So it's like, growing up into like high school, I didn't realize he had traumas that he was dealing with. And it was like, it was reflecting on me though. So it was like, my grandfather is from the South. He's real stern. Well, he was real stern, and like, he didn't really show no emotions, or he didn't know how to like lend a helping hand. Like, you don't really lend a helping hand to your child though. You provide. So my dad looked at it as, I'm letting you borrow this $10. It's like, dog, I'm 14. Like, I don't have a job.
That's
like,
why I came to you.
Yeah. Like, so it's like, my dad, I think he had those traumas and those fears and things like that, and it was just like he couldn't break them. So it was like throughout high school, I was just like, all right, he might get better. And then it was just like after high school, and like I started getting into my 20s, like making my own money, like kind of just taking care of myself, having my own house, having my own mortgage and things like that. Yeah, I was a man. It was just like, oh, cuz I don't need you at all anymore. Yeah. Like, I don't need you at all anymore. Like, you did what you had to do when I was a kid, but now we don't have to have a relationship. So it's like, now our relationship is weird. It's like, we see each other maybe every 3 months or so. Like, hey, I got gifts for Jordy. That's my daughter. He be like, I got gifts for Jordy or something. I go over there, pick him up. But it's like, the relationship is so strained because I don't think we I don't think either one of us wants to be the person to say like, "Yo, we got some shit we need to talk about."
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah, because
you got that from him too, though.
Yeah, I think with him, I don't want to have like I don't have the. I would be honest, I don't have the confidence to say like, "Yo, we need to have a conversation," because I just don't like. You
don't think it's gonna go good?
I don't think it's gonna go good because he's not an emotional person. So it'd just be like I'm just talking to a wall, and it's just like he's like, well, because it. Even when I was growing up, I remember him saying so many times like, "Yo, I was a good dad. Like I was dope." I was just like now that I look back, I was like, "Cuz when?"
But
when?
I got a question for you because you just said that you don't feel like you even have the courage to really ask your dad. Mm-hmm. Recently, this past summer, that's exactly what I did. Mm. But for years, like I hadn't really spoke to my dad since 2015 because of some stuff that happened. He asked me to do something like, all right, if you help me do this, I'm gonna help you with that. Whatever he was helping me with was gonna help me like really take care of my kids. I had my son, help me take care of my kid, my house, and project myself forward. He basically flaked out on it, even though I was doing everything I was supposed to do. So I stopped talking to him because then it's like, no, there's something we need to talk about. Mm-hmm. But like you said, you weren't sure if it was going to go well. Is there anything that you want to ask him? Because my conversation did not go well.
That's probably the lack of courage that I have because I don't know the right questions. Like I don't have the questions to ask because in his mind he already has this ideology of like, yo, I set you out. Like, I set you out. Like, my dad, I remember being in high school, my senior year, my dad gave me the Chevy Blazer. Chevy Blazer, if you know the Jimmy, it looked like the Jimmy. Mm-hmm. Yep. So he gave me the Chevy Blazer, and he was like, all right, when you start working, I need you to pay insurance. Like, you got to pay me $150 a month. So I had got a job, and it was like maybe like 3-4 weeks had passed, and he was like, yo, where that money? I was like, well, I haven't got a real check yet. Like my first check was like $50. Y'all know how it was back in the day. Yeah. That first week in the hole, 2 weeks. So it's like I was like, I don't have it. Like my first check was like $50. He was like, you know what? All right, I'm on my way. And I was like, huh? So my pops pulled up, took the license plates off the whip, and pulled off. Didn't say a word. I'm in the street hooping. I was like, yo, what the heck? Like, what's going on? Like, so it was like those things when I was 17, it was just like he just being him. Let me just go get my license, registration, and all that stuff myself. But it was like now that I'm 30, it's like nah, like that's not how you operate with your child. Like that's not how you treat your child.
Though, a lot of things I feel like because I had the situation where I wasn't really like you said, I feel like you don't know what to ask. I feel like once you get to that point to where you can talk, like it's really no right questions to ask. You gotta let that shit out. And I had to do that for myself. Like me and my dad didn't talk like that. My emotions ain't the most of expressing. You know what I mean? I didn't really like expressing. My mom didn't show that much emotion. My stepmom don't show any emotions. Like we not an emotional family. So I got all these emotions built up. You gotta let that shit out because if you don't, you holding stuff in. You can't let nothing else in. You know what I mean? So like I said, I was 17, stealing racks from my dad, like stealing money from him. Like I was ready to come back to I was staying in Pittsburgh with him. I was ready to come back and live my Detroit life, just ready to go. And when everything went down, he didn't lay not a hand on me. My stepmom did, but he ain't lay not a hand on me, and I just made me look at him different. Like, damn, he just like, if you was another dude, I would have did something to you. He said, the fact you my son, it taught me a lesson. Like, all right, if I was somebody, I would have got killed over this. It taught me not to take anybody for granted, anything like that. But it also gave me an opportunity to be like, well, let me speak on the stuff I feel about you. I let out all the times he wasn't there, times he wasn't, I felt like he wasn't here, all these other things. And then that's when he started expressing himself. I wasn't here because of this. This what went on. That's why I started understanding, like, man, he going through some things too. And now me being 26, being a father, going through life, you start seeing all the stuff that you took for granted. Start seeing all the conversations you should have had. So, like, I understand it might not seem like the right time. You might not get the reaction you got, but it ain't about you. It ain't about him. It's about you. You get that off your chest. You get that out. I'm telling you, you letting out a lot of hate, let a lot of love in from all different types of aspects of life. I'm telling you, let that shit out, man. Don't hold that in.
The thing I would say is just make sure, like, it's not a one time.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna get everything in that one sitting. So like just kind of leave it. And I know it's hard just because like you got, you know what I'm saying, you a can that shook up. Mm-hmm. And so you open the can, it's gonna come, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you gotta.
It ain't no script.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just talk like I'm talking to you because like we both adults now. So I think
like, y'all both men.
Yeah, men and like
so,
you know
so your word, you understand your word need to, like your like my dad is a dope dealer. He not no pushover. I can't walk in there and say, hey man, sit the fuck down and look. I can't say them things to him. I watch my jokes with this man still, but that's right there, me and him like these. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I had these conversations with him. I sat there and opened up, and we still had these conversations. I'm having girl problems. Most people don't call their dad because they dad old school. My dad talked to me just like I'll talk to you. Mm-hmm. Oh man, do this, that, and the third. So it's just about learning different types of bonds because we didn't have that growing up. You know what I mean? I didn't go play basketball with my dad growing up, not one time. I cannot name one time, but I can name the 20,000 times we done played since he been out of jail. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's a different feel. I missed my dad. He missed his son. He missed his grandkid. So it's a lot of, like you said, y'all talk every 3 months or something like that, or something like out that 3 months, call him a random time like, hey man, look, let's link up, grab a beer. You old enough to drink. You know what I mean? Let's kick it. You know what I mean? And start holding these heart-to-heart conversations because we don't talk like this. We don't do these things. Like you said, black men don't have these outlets. Yeah. We don't do that within our own family. The only time we speak on stuff if it's drama.
That's true.
Let me steer it another way. Like, it's just going back to when you found out you have your first child on the way. Is it what you thought it would be? Fatherhood. Is fatherhood what you thought it would be?
Not at all.
I didn't have a thought for real. You know what I'm saying? Like what I thought it. I didn't know. Mm-hmm. Like I was, old enough to know. I think it was like 24, 25, like that time. Yeah. Like when I was having them, but I didn't have no expectation. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't no expectation.
Other than like I do. All right, you got to make sure you get some benefits. You got to make sure like you working 40 hours a week. You got to make sure that. But I didn't know like. I didn't think past that part. Like I was just like, each day was like one day at a time, probably. Mm-hmm. In hindsight, because at the time I wasn't thinking about nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Other than like, all right, we got to get the room ready. Yeah, we got to get this stuff. We got to get this stuff. So it was like something was new each day, and then I just remember the water broke, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I thought this. I really thought my daughter is 4. I thought this time would be the easiest. This time is the hardest. Like my child is literally. She's the only child, no siblings. Mm-hmm. Like we don't live in a neighborhood where it's kids playing outside, and I probably wouldn't let her. Anywhere. Yeah, so it's just like, but it's just like she relies on me and my wife to literally entertain her all day.
Oh man,
so it's like it's like she got all these toys for Christmas, and like the constant thing I hear is, I can't play by myself. I need somebody to play with me, and I'm just like, oh, but at the same time with our schedules, it's like I could be busy from 9 to 3. My wife could be busy from 6 to 6, and then it's just like, to actually come home and still have to like to be a parent. It's a second. It's your first job really, but it's like it's an actual job. Like it's another shift you got to put in. And it's like, all right.
It's a little different for me with the fact that me and my baby mom not together. So I can like to crack a joke. I get the clock in and clock out. Be a dad. Yeah, but I'll say the same thing. So I got to clock. Yeah, I get the clock in and clock out.
It's not it, guys.
But the one thing, the one thing I do, like, cause I'm trying to have another one with a girl I want to be with. So it's a little different. But with my daughter being 5 and experiencing the things I experienced with her, I'm not as responsible as a parent as I should be. Mm-hmm. And the fact that I can go through these things and, like you said, go through it with her. So this one don't go through the same stuff we went through. You know what I mean? It's for sure burning a hole in my head. But I'm not one of those. I don't say I'm a great father. I say I'm a good father, because I don't do everything I should, but I for sure do what I can. And it's because I live a different lifestyle. Yeah. You know what I mean? I do music, so my nights are late. My people that are around me is wild. So it's a lot of times I don't want her around those things, and a lot of people don't understand. Like, it's not because I don't want her, so I don't want her around these things. So I never thought it would be like this. One thing I do know is that it for sure made me feel emotions. You couldn't tell me shit about a female before I had my daughter. Mm-hmm. I didn't have no emotions. Whatever happened. Fuck them. But once I had my daughter, it was like, damn, my mama sacrificed a lot for me, man. My mama really did her thing. Like, my mama, I got to take care of her a lot more than I already said I was. It was always get you out of my house, is that and the third.
I think, not to cut you off, but I think they have boys and you and I have daughters. Like, having daughters, it's like almost like it was a whole different respect for women I had. Like, after that, because it was just like, I'd be damned if somebody do my daughter like that. I
gotta protect her. I gotta do what I gotta do. Like, like anything happen to her, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I'm gonna lose my shit.
Like, I could never think of somebody like me hurting her.
I've been in daycares going crazy.
So it made me change the way I am towards my women. It made me change how I am towards my mother. It made me change how I am to how I talk and things of that nature, because I don't want nobody to project those things to her. And the one thing that I took from my father, I'm gonna teach her the game. My dad taught me the game, like, early, young. Like, I was the only third grader that knew about triple beam scales, and it was a problem. You know what I mean? I'm not saying no to dope, but like, I was around it so much. It's like, no, I don't want my daughter around those things, but she need to know what's going on. It wasn't, I need to nut my son. No, it was like, my son here, fuck it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was doing snow angels in the weed and stuff like that, just wild. You know what I mean? Like, 3 years old.
When Jordan was on the way, I didn't. For one, I was excited. I was 28 when Jordan was on the way, so I was much older. And really experienced like some crazy ass relationships, but I didn't know what to expect. But I knew I didn't really express this in a previous question, that my dad was never really an affectionate type. Like, I never heard my dad say I love you. My dad is not like a hugger at all. But I tell my son I love him at least 6, 7, 8 times a day. I kiss him 5, 10, 15, 20 times a day. I'm like super over. I don't know if I'm trying to make up for what I didn't receive as a kid, but I don't want him to ever feel like I feel.
I think that's more what it is. Like I don't think it's what you making up for. It's more that you don't want him to feel that. Don't never think you making up for anything.
It's a little bit of both, because it's like your parents are your only example of parenthood. Yeah, like you see other people, but they're your own. Like, you were with them every day in and out, so you kind of like, that's kind of your scale of like, all right, they did this. Yeah, I know how this kind of worked out for me. Do I go this much more, or do I go this part?
That's why I said it's more in the sense of showing them what you didn't show, instead of it being you making up. Yeah. Because you're not going to make, but he don't know what you went through. Right. You know what I'm saying? He, in times are way different now. You know what I mean? You ain't had no tablet to sit you down. You know what I mean? Like, let's say your dad, you was like, my dad really loved me. He bought me the new Jordans that came out.
But the thing is, my dad wasn't affectionate. My mom is the total opposite.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So I got it all from my mom, but from my dad, I didn't really have like a bond of, I mean, my dad showed me, my dad was always around every day. It's not a day I didn't see my dad. So for one, you go to school and you see kids. It's funny how kids used to make fun of you for having 2 parents in your household.
It was hurt.
You know what I'm saying? But that
shit was rare coming from me.
My dad was around, but my dad was never the one to sit down and teach me anything. I learned more from Jay-Z than I learned from my dad. You know, so it's like I go over and beyond for my kid, and I always question myself, am I doing enough for him? So when Jay-Z said like, yo, I don't have, when his daughter is like, yo, I don't have nobody to play with, it's like, okay, well, I can't do no editing. I got to reschedule a shoot because my son because I'm questioning like, damn, dude, I don't want my only child to feel like he alone.
And that's the thing. It's like, even, see, it's not, for me, it's not as easy as just to like reschedule. Yeah. Like, I got to like, somebody paid to be in the studio at this time, so it's either you come with me, or hey, I got to call one of the engineers and pay an engineer, and it's costing me more money at this time. So it's like I've dealt with those sad faces, like, or she crying, she having a meltdown because I'm walking out the door. Like, that's happened plenty of times. Yeah, you gonna deal with that. Like but at the same time, I would say it's. It ain't possible without like my wife. My wife really holds it down, and she'll like just say like, go ahead, do what you got to do, like just hurry it back home, or try to cut your day short if you can. Like, and like I actually built the studio to where it's like another studio, so she can chill in there and watch her cartoons.
That's what's
like,
up,
but that's because it was like I would rather her be in the space with me than without me. Right. So yeah,
there's plenty of times I took Jordan. I was carrying like the carrier to a music video shoot. So he'll be there, whatever's going on at the music shoot is like, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Just over the summer, you pulled up on me. He was in the back seat, just shoot a little 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Like even like I said, that stuff mattered. Like my whole thing is my baby mom not really into her being around for these things, because my daughter loved me to death. Like that's really my twin. We really we do some of the same stuff. So with that being said, she's very territorial. Like, no, that's my daughter more.
Okay.
Which is petty, but
yeah,
females do things like that. So with her doing that, it's putting me in a position to like, all right, every time I do get her, we gotta go to Chuck E. Cheese. We gotta go here. We gotta go spend, we gotta go do this, that, and the third. And it had put me in a mindset like, well, damn, like I'm materializing my daughter. Like I gotta talk to her. I gotta be there for her. So we'll FaceTime all night. Yeah. She'll even say on the phone like, Daddy, you the only one that answered. Nah, in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, how many people you called before you called me? Yeah. Then I'm like, but all right, but no, you already know Daddy gonna answer for you, babe. You know I'm gonna be on the phone with you. We'll on the phone all day type things. And then, like I said, just those type of emotions. Like when she was here, I used to just want to hug her, kiss her. I got 1,000 kisses for you and stuff like that. And my girl be like, well, damn, can I get some? And I'll be like, it's different because like that's I want to show my daughter like, that affection, like a man will show you this affection as well. And it made me realize like, all right, I'm doing this to my daughter. I need to do this to my woman to show her more. So like I said, me trying to raise a woman made me want to be better towards my woman. But it also made me realize females ain't taught these traits. They are born with these traits that they got. My daughter do a lot of the stuff my girlfriend does. It hurt my soul.
Okay.
Hurts my soul.
I look forward to having a daughter someday.
Take it with a grain of salt.
It's a lot of dip, dog. It's a lot of dip.
I'm trying to tell you,
man.
That's too much dip on your chip. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm not even prepared for like certain things. Like when they start having their monthly cycle, I don't even know how to deal with certain things like that.
I think you can pass it off then.
Or when they start talking to God, like
you for sure passing it off, but you gotta understand like.
You still going
like you pulling like
it's just what I'm thinking to myself is like, all right, when I was coming up, I remember how girls used to talk to me. Like how you used to tell me they business, how you used to be involved in. Like, then was you talking to your dad like this? They wasn't. You know what I mean? So it made me think like, no, I need my daughter to talk to me like. I need to know that she's not happy. I need to know that she's going through these things. Like, I ain't telling you to tell me your boyfriend name and exactly everything y'all doing. But you know what I mean? I need to be. I mean, of course, on her head. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna know. But it's more in the sense of like, I wanted to know that I actually do care about you.
I want to know.
I just care for you. I care about you.
And you
like,
can come talk to me about anything. Literally, don't ever be afraid to come talk to me.
I tell her that all the time. Like, you can talk to me about all types of things.
Do you worry that's not gonna work though?
I do, because my mom used to tell me the same thing, and sometimes I will keep it from her.
And at the same time, with us being the generation, I feel like our generation was the best generation because we was able to experience not having technology to coming up with some good technology to having the best technology. Yeah. So with the communication changed a lot. So of course we didn't want to talk to our parents, you know what I mean? But now that I'm 26 years old, I FaceTime my mom, I FaceTime my dad, I text my mom, I text my dad, I got family group chats, all type of things. So the fact that my daughter FaceTimes 5 people before she gets to me, she has people that she can reach out to. It's different now. Yeah. But the 5 to 5, my mom's one of them. You know what I'm saying? She might call my sister. You know what I mean? Things like that. So I didn't have that coming up. I couldn't call my older brother. I was the oldest. Yeah. I didn't have no uncles. You know what I mean? I could call and talk on the phone because we only had the cord phone. And I ain't know that number by heart. Yeah. She just pushing emojis because she know them. You know what I mean? So it's a lot better. I feel like how more involved you are and the more you express that you can talk to me without being judgmental, that's when they going to start talking to you more. Because once my dad became my man's, I just felt like I can talk to you about anything. And he'll don't get me wrong, he'll snap into dad mode, but I know that's my dad. So it's not like he talking to me like no love, dude. Yeah. But you know what I mean? It's just different. It's different once you open up.
Let's talk about patience for a second. Like how I know we got little children, you know what I'm saying? We got little toddlers or whatever. Like think about the times when like say you come into the room and he got like Vaseline all over his face, or he's been colored all over the wall. She done colored all over the wall, or something like that. How do you handle that, dealing like, okay, they only 5, 6, and they don't know any better, but it's like, yo, why is you don't have common sense?
I never had the Vaseline. Yeah, I never had the Vaseline.
Oh, the Vaseline is coming though. I ain't gonna lie, it might come. It's gonna come for sure.
My son put baby rash. That shit don't like wipe off. Like you gotta scrub that.
You gotta get in the shower for that one.
I haven't had that situation. My stepson is draw on the wall and get to playing in some stuff, but I honestly think when it comes down to just being messy like that is mainly boys. Girls have their moments. Don't get me wrong, girls have their moments, but it be like
I say you should see my walls, dog.
That's what I'm saying.
My walls, Picasso did them joints.
Girls have their moments. Like I said, my daughter drew on the wall for a second, and I was like, "Yo, don't do that." I had a talk with her, and she never did it again. And that's my relationship with her is the relationship I want to have, like how my sister got with my dad. My dad could rob you on camera, have both his IDs up, say it's him, and show all body marks and everything, and she'll say that's not my dad, he didn't do it. I want baby to ride for me like that, you know what I mean? So it's just having that type of patience to be able to her to be like, yo, don't do that no more, and she's like, okay, I got you, and never do it again, like that type of.
Yeah, I don't have to discipline my son like that at all. I tell him one time, and it's like, okay, I got you. All right, I'm not gonna do that again.
Yes.
Do y'all discipline your kids at all?
Yes.
See, my child is not. It's not. I never go physical with the discipline. It's just it's a lot of conversations. Because she's really soft and emotional. Not so, I wouldn't say soft. She's really emotional, like so delicate.
She's a delicate flower.
But it's okay. Like I'm talking about, like it's like she'll melt. Like I have a conversation and she'll be like, "Daddy made me mad," and then it just be like she just melt and it just be like, "Well,
the one that killed me, she'd be like, but I didn't want to make you upset, but I did."
Oh God!
And I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you?
And you feel guilty and shit.
So, like
and my daughter also got like a smart mouth. Like it'd be like, "Hey Jordan, come here," and I'll be like, "Hey, don't do that." And she'd be like, "Don't do what?" And I'm like, "Don't jump in your bed like that. You gonna fall on her chest." She'd be like, "Fine." And I'd be like, "Yo, like."
I tell my kid like, "Yo, okay, it's gonna take you one time." One time after that, you ain't gonna do it no more.
See, I don't want to go. I don't like the hospital, and I know.
Bro,
listen, I didn't been in the hospital for jumping off the bed.
Me, I done cracked my head plenty of times.
And my
got
oldest
stitches on the
son,
side of my face, all that.
My oldest son is who I have to, because I think I had already started it. So like my youngest son, I don't have to like be physical with. As far as like the most he get is like a thump, like hand and head or whatever. But my oldest son, like I was whooping him before.
Okay.
And so I had tried to stop. But then you like run out of options of like stuff to do. Like the talks ain't working, fam.
He tried you already?
So not tried me. He's not gonna do that part. But it's like he tries my patience as far as like, all right, I'm trying to give you grace, bro. I'm giving you grace again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What would Jesus do?
Right.
Like all right, you know what I'm saying? So it's
I'm
like,
most definitely feel you because
we out.
Because when I was a kid, I tell my stepkids, I tell my daughters, I say, yo, we got fucked up as kids, and I was like, and all that CPS shit y'all got it wasn't the same. Like we got fucked up back then, and it was you go to school the next day, it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? We had those moments. It be like that. So now, like I said, I done got physical with my stepson before, but not crazy. But you know what I'm saying? I got physical.
Just to let him know.
But now in the sense of now is I'm fucking with his mental. So I'll be like, all right, you want to be bad, this is going to happen, get in the push-up position. No push-ups, just stand straight, arms straight up. So then I'll be like, you know what, go get in the corner. So as soon as he get up, go in the corner. Matter of fact, no, I'll come back, get back in the push-up position. Now he back down. Now he moving back and forth. He don't know what I want him to do. But you know what I'm saying? And just fuck with his head like, you know what, I don't want to lie no more because I don't like this. You know what I mean? So ever since that day, he ain't told a lie yet. He been telling the truth like a shit. That he was confusing me because I was lying to him. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. I want you to do this. Oh, you can get up after this. No, I lied. Never mind. You know what I mean? The patience is different now. Like the whole how you tricking kids to take your medicine now. Back in the day, it wasn't none of that. You just take your medicine, get your ass beat. You know what I mean? It's just different now with the information of the internet and seeing how other people raise their kids. And honestly, it changed a lot because everybody being judgmental. So.
That's a good segue. Now, how do you protect your kids from the things that they may watch on TV or the music they hear? Do you play only the clean version of music, or do you certain things? What do you do?
You know what I'm saying? But with the protection thing, so right now, we do have I think pretty good open communication with my older son.
Okay.
So his thing is different because I co-parent with his mom, and so he's with me half the time, he's with her half the time, and so we just try to keep him, we talk about what's happening. So he has I have god kids that are older than him.
Okay.
And so my goddaughters may have experienced something before they needed to experience. So he kind of gets that stuff first. So if kids are talking about bisexual and you know what I'm saying, so he had to have these conversations that I wasn't ready to have. Yeah. But I want to make sure he knows what the truth is before somebody in 6th grade try to tell him what this is or what it is. And kids don't know what, you know what I'm saying, it's what it really is and what they think it is. Yeah. And so I'll try to we had those conversations and we'll sit down and talk. So he can come to me and ask me for real. Like, hey, so it's like I know, you know what I'm saying? Like I worked around kids and been around kids, so like I still know what's happening in the hallways and stuff like that. So it's like when I think it's time to say something, like, hey, you know, X, Y, and Z, what do you know about this? And then like he tell me the internet is, you know, a weird place, but it's a lot of information there, but you still don't want it to be that's the only place that they hear it from, just because you lived a lot of life in between that to do, you know what I'm saying, do that. With the cussing, I try to listen to clean music. It be rough though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't really be a hypocrite. I make music. I
ain't making clean versions, bro?
I make clean versions, but my daughter know the dirty versions. But
she know not to cuss.
Exactly, and that's where that really play a part with my daughter.
You see some kids that just be like,
yeah, but I look at it like this though. When we was kids, we was cussing too, but we wasn't cussing around our parents.
Absolutely.
So now we got a lot more kids being parents, and with these kids being parents, they still got the kid mindset. Like I said, I have my baby at 21. I wasn't thinking like this at 21. You know what I mean? But if I would have had my baby at 16, I guarantee you it'll be a whole different ball game. I wouldn't be feeling like, hey, I can go out here and have fun at 20. Like, nah, forget that. I've been a parent since 16. Like, it's different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you had yours at 28. Yeah. You lived your, like I said, you lived your life, but you experienced.
For sure.
You experienced, like you know you can hang,
sure.
you know what you can do regardless of a kid or not. Now it's like trying to fit them into like your already established stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like you said, you got your second one. The first one, one of my favorite commercials was from for Pampers. You had the mom in the car shop. She was trying to figure out where to put the baby. She had a newborn baby. She didn't know where to put the baby. So then they were saying, this is how you act with your first child. The second child, she actually handed the mechanic the baby. He went to her purse to get the money. Like, you know, you've been there. You done it. You're not thinking too much of it no more. So, like I said, with
the first one is always a guinea pig for sure.
Yeah, so like I said, I haven't had them talk shit about the
don't stop.
Bro. I haven't had those talk shit with having to explain sexuality and things like that. Like, and I'm not too much of a person I want to have those conversations. I feel like kids need to be kids.
But because the thing that happens is that, like what he said, the most valuable part is younger people. Like when people not you taking care of your kids, like everybody here, we all take care of our kids different ways, right? But it's like it's some things that's gonna be common across the board. Right. Like it's some common beliefs that you're just gonna do across the board. Some people are just letting their kids go to other people and stuff like that. And I know just from like working like in the field I work in and working with kids, I remember when it was a boom of sexuality. Like in people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when we were 16, 17. I feel like
that's happening now.
No, but that's it's the boom. Like when we were 16, 17, wasn't nobody. It was no bisexual kids. It wasn't like
it was, but
it not was like
what?
They didn't know.
But I'm saying like it wasn't like I'm bisexual.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying?
So you had to find out some type of way. But nowadays it's like you got 5 and 6 year olds doing anything. And I'm not saying nothing wrong with that.
That's
be
not
what
even
you
them doing it.
But why is that even on your mind right now? Can you count to this number? Do you know these states?
But it's not even them doing it. It's like they got, you know, somebody got an older cousin, right? So they older cousin is like boom. And like when we grew up, your family, you might have had a gay uncle or gay aunt, but they was just like their sexuality was put away. But now people like, you got a 16-year-old cousin, like, yeah, I'm bi, and they bringing girlfriends around. So kids is just imitating life. And so now you got a kid in 3rd grade talking about, yeah, I'm bisexual. And they don't even know the first of what even, you know, they just repeating the words. And so now you like, it's 3rd grade. You know what I'm saying? You hear 3rd grade, they like, yeah, I'm bisexual too.
I tell people all the time, I said, if they under 13, I don't want to hear none of that, how you feel about another opposite sex. I don't care if you're straight or not. Like, because you don't know. Your mindset,
you literally, hormones,
at 13, I lost my virginity at 13. So before that, I wasn't thinking about no girls. It was
you wasn't thinking about sex, but you would think like,
I'm saying you think about girls. I was getting the first kiss and stuff. You want to get kissed and stuff like that. But what I'm saying, I wasn't thinking, hey, I need to think about girls 24/7.
Or I need to put a title on it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm outside. I'm playing. I'm out here getting dirty, getting in trouble. I'm out here doing something I'm supposed to be doing. We trying to go see the girls, get in trouble, this and the third. But we wasn't talking about it around our moms and stuff like that.
Think about how confusing that is for like a 8-year-old though now. Like if you a little girl, right?
That's what I'm saying.
And somebody like, oh, you know, being gay means you like the same sex. And it's like, I like hanging with such and such. Because you're supposed to like hanging with such. So, but it's like, you don't know because somebody told you now, like, that's gay.
I think
You know what I'm saying. But you don't know.
Yeah. A lot of people look at that as like you being homophobic, and it's not really what you being.
No,
it's more
not
of being more of a. You gotta look at it all aspects. And like I said, my parents wouldn't have them talks with me. When I hit 13, it was all right, son. You like girls, clearly. So let me have these talks with you. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be. My daughter, 8 years old, talking about well, Dad, I think I like girls. I'd be like, well, come here and do these timetables. If you can do these timetables, you can be wherever you want to be.
I think for me, like
your mind ain't developed.
Working in the school system, it's like I see it firsthand. So, like the beautiful part about everything is my child is still a child. Yeah. Like she's like a kid
and stuff like that. Yeah,
everything is pretend. Everything is no, daddy. You gotta beat the mama and the daddy when we play Barbies. Or like she doesn't really know. Like she's not really. She doesn't want to listen to like she wants to listen to troll soundtrack. She don't want to listen to like rap music yet. She's not even that advanced. Like when I'm playing songs, she be like, "Can you turn this off, please?" And I'd be like,
"I'm in the car singing Frozen."
Yeah, Frozen. Like
Let it go.
That's like
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. The whole
top of my lungs. Singing.
Yeah, that's what we working on. It's just like it for.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, she's still a kid, and I think this will last because she's the only child. So, like, her favorite song right now is Beyonce "Brown Skin Girl."
Okay.
And
so it's
beautiful.
It's like, of course that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We don't. I have no like censoring. Like she has YouTube. She has like an iPod or iPad, one of them, and it's like. She got YouTube for kids, and it's pretty
for sure. YouTube for kids is super safe.
I
got scared
safe.
with that whole little 90.
Yeah,
that freaked me
Momo.
out. Momo, there we go.
Yeah.
That freaked me out, dog.
I'm gonna speak on the Momo thing. What y'all need to understand is that Momo shit was the internet shit. A lot of people was not like the parents are more shook than the kids. Now,
for sure.
Now my daughter knew about Momo. She was like. And
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like whatever, like I don't care about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that just let you know it was a internet epidemic.
Yeah,
trying to scare people into that stuff. Because I was asking my daughter like the Momo, the parents. She was like, yeah, I don't really want to see all that. Like she was like, I like to see Pig alive.
They go
I like to see,
yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like so that made me realize my daughter not into the hype.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? She don't want to do what everybody else doing.
Yeah.
She shy. She like everybody over there playing on the jungle gym. She be like, nah, I'm alright. I want my tablet. I'm gonna chill.
Man. Speaking of that, see, my child is not to cut you off, bro, but my child is like, she's a very friendly kid. So she'll walk up to people like, "Hi, I'm Jordy," and they might not respond. That makes me so mad.
Same.
It'd be like,
no, that's what my son do.
Because she like speaks to everybody, especially kids.
My stepdaughter like that. My stepdaughter,
but no, kids will ignore her, and I'll be like, "Yo, I'll fuck this little kid up."
My stepdaughter walk around the house literally the whole day and say hi to everybody in the house. Like I mean, like she literally probably said hi to me an hour ago. She'd be like. Hi, Steph. And I'd be like, hey, what's going on, baby? All right. Like,
yeah, Ashton do that at Target, Meyer. Like, where if you in there, you just like, what's up?
It's only kids. She only speaks to kids. She don't speak to adults.
No, he'll talk to anybody. Like, somebody
had
just popped their kid. The kid crying like, why you hit him? And then the lady was kind of like embarrassed, like shit. You see,
like damn, I did. Damn,
he about to take over. He like, yo, hit him again.
No, I just hit
got
left,
you.
and we turned down the cookie out. And I was like, all right, let's go, man. Your daddy don't care about nobody other than you. So let's just
Yeah, see, my daughter, she light skinned, like, and when I don't say that as skin tone, I mean like attitude wise. She the type, you know how them girls used to be like, I'm gonna come over, we gonna do this, we gonna do that, we gonna be all this, that, and the third. You like bet, and she come over and don't be on none of that. My daughter is that for sure. She'll hype me up, and we gonna do everything and don't do it. She want to type that like if I walked in this room, so I say hey, she'd be like, ugh. And I'd be like, damn, like say hey, don't be rude like that. Like my daughter is a piece of work. She reminds me of my sister. My sister, me and my mom tell my sister all the time, I feel sorry for the dude that fall in love with you. Cause
I feel the same way.
Evil.
Needy.
But I love her to death, and I call on me, baby. I got you.
My daughter is gonna be needy, like and listen, daddy got your needs all the way until you get married, and then I got you still when you get married. Because my father-in-law kind of raised me with that. Like my father-in-law, I can call my father-in-law like my dad. Be like, yo, pops, my car running weird. He'd be like, yo, pull up. Like, let's take it to the shop. Like, that's my father-in-law. So it's like, that's probably also why I got like a strange relationship with my dad, because my father-in-law came in. Like, I've been with my wife. We've been together since we were like 18. I'm 30. So it's like, this is most of like my adulthood. Like, when I'm looking like for, I met the man who taught me how to be a man. So it's like, I met him at 18. It's just like, all right, like, I see how this is supposed to operate.
To piggyback off what you said earlier, you had said like, I don't need you for nothing, like talking to your dad.
Oh yeah.
Shit, I still call my dad to this day like, hey man, look, I need this. Can you cash at me this? I still call my mom like that. But like, I tell people like, I don't look at it as like, when we see these kids, my parents bought me this. I don't look at them as spoiled. No. I don't look at them like that. I look like your parents care about you. You blessed.
They blessed.
Some people parents not here to do them things for them,
or they can't do it.
Or they can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Or like, you 18, you're not my responsibility no more.
Or it could be like you said, your situation. Your dad probably can do it. He don't want to do it. Like, so it's just so many different situations you can be in. And like I said, when my dad like be like, hey man, I'm gonna send you a little something, I'll be like,
thank you.
Word? Like, all right. And I get the cash app. It's like $40. I'm like, oh, this nigga love me today. Like, that's my boy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
40 ball.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, my boy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's one thing I would say my parents taught me early. Like, yo, we gonna teach you how to take care of us. And it's been like, I'm sending the random cash apps like, yo, y'all had dinner tonight, go get y'all something to eat. Like, here go $50. But that's because like I do that because they literally, my dad was asking me for money when I was like, I moved in with my dad for like probably 2 years. I was on the west side, I'm an east sider, so it's like, it was weird. And he was waking me up like, hey yo, you got paid today? I'd be like, yeah. He'd be like, let me get $15. It's a whole difference, Marcus. It's a difference over the east side.
Well, I know because there's only one freeway on the east side. And
there you go. Facts.
And it's beautiful.
That's all we need.
It gets you exactly where it needs to go.
I'm not from Detroit proper, so it's like,
you've been here long enough.
I love the east side.
Transparent.
I love everything about the east side.
I prefer the west side for access.
Because you live there.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
like 100 freeways.
Yeah, it's for sure.
It's not even community. Like,
it is.
It's divided by freeways.
Literally got like, you be in Southfield and then Southfield Lathrop. Like, what? It's the same thing. Like, just let it all be one thing. You need all these different little cities into it. It don't change to another city till you get to Madison Heights. Like,
you need 96, all that, man.
Now, you're married.
Yep.
You're married.
Yep.
But you have a child with someone that you're not married to.
Yeah, that's work.
And Stiff, you're not with the mother of your daughter.
No.
What is that relationship like?
With my
okay, I'll put it this way. Well, let me filter this question. Are you aware, like when you're in front of your child, with your child, how you treat their mother?
Yeah, so